name is Justin. Today is Friday, February 27th of 2026. We have finally made it to the end of month number 2. Give ourselves a round of applause. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone has had themselves a good week. It's been a busy week as grassroots is prepared. Let me talk about that just for a brief moment because grassroots, I've been there since December, since we've held our one of our first meetings or set of rehearsals leading into this production. And I instantly just thought to myself, you got a team of men and women and kids that are just eager to tell this story and to deliver the message that it's purposely meant to be sent to. And so when I came across this, it's like I felt the vibe, the energy in the room from day one that this production was going to be something special. And they've worked hard, countless of hours, whether it's on Zoom meetings, whether it's on in person at libraries. I want to thank all the libraries for providing a place for this production to be rehearsed at. If it wasn't for that, those locations, we honestly wouldn't really be anywhere near ready than where we were. I got to give a shout out to all the cast members, the crews behind the scenes, trying to finalize getting the flyers going, getting concessions set up. It is a well-oiled machine. Nothing's ever perfect, right? But this was pretty close thereof. And this is just Enlightened Studios' first production of the 2026 calendar year. And if you haven't gotten a chance to get your tickets by visiting tickettailor.com, which a link is provided in the description below, I got to encourage you and say, what are you waiting for? It's Friday. First productions tonight at 7. We got 7 more productions after that. If you have not gotten your tickets, get your tickets. You can save a few dollars by visiting online. Otherwise, if you get them at the door, it's just a few dollars more, but come out. Artsville Theater, 5021 Wessel Avenue. It is in Cincinnati, Ohio. 45227 is the zip code. Get out there early. It's off the 75 off of Fairfax. And just experience what Enlightened Studios has to offer. Maybe you've never been to a theater production outside of high school performances. Maybe you never been to an Enlightened Studios event, or maybe you never been to an Enlightened Studios performance at all. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it because it's something that you remember. Everything. The Enlightened Studios is a performing arts company, and it's faith-based. And I'll tell you that. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because Enlightened Studios, one thing that I've noticed this week, everything left and right and under the sun has been thrown against us. Our back is up against the wall. One thing doesn't want to work. One thing, it's one thing after another. Once you get one thing figured out and get it worked, then you're faced with another dilemma. And it's every single time that happens, and it happens in everyday life, right? But every single time that happens, Enlightened Studios has been able to find a way to get around it, overcome it, and make the best with what's due. And they've been able to succeed. So, it's one of those things where you see it for yourself. It's like, how can you not be supportive of that? They have other performances of the year. This is only to set the stage for what's to come here in the upcoming months or throughout the calendar year for Enlightened Studios. So I'm excited. But I encourage you to come out there. I'll be there. We're doing some social media content, doing some blue carpet, meeting with the cast members, meeting with the audience, getting their thoughts and opinions, taking a look at the vendors that are going to be there throughout the weekend. I mean, it's the whole 9 yards. And I want you to experience what we are talking about. So tickets are still available. Doors open up. I would say get there an hour before. Artsville is kind of like a single not a standalone building, but there's parking. There's public parking on the front on both sides that's available for everyone. If at most maybe I have to walk, a block, maybe two, and so get out there, get your tickets, say hi to Nikhil and Terry. They'll be walking the floor corridor. You'd go up these stairs, and Artsville is not just the Artsville Theater is not just a theater. It's a there are artwork scattered around, and you go upstairs, which is like a rainbow color coordinated steps, and you get to this big mural that was painted with the assistant of Seven Hill Kids. And I tell you, you're gonna capture. You get into the theater and you'll sit and you'll get comfy, nice and cozy, and it's only about 2 hours long. Tonight start at 7, and enjoy yourself a good time. The story Grassroots is a story taken back to the 1950s, where you get to follow a black family who moves into an all-white neighborhood around the time where things weren't also easy to pursue. Truths and resilience come out, and this father of this family is very protective of his ground, his land, what he's worked hard for him and his family, and he's teaching this son through his wife as well. They're both teaching his son, the importance of who they are, where they come from, and that everyone is treated equal through all aspects. And at the end, it is a very heartwarming message. There is, I'm going to pre-warn, I'm not going to spoil it, but there is a scene that has a foreshadowing, live action foreshadow that's supposed to be covered in the darkness that does create an image that I'm not going to say is unsettling, but can just to be warned of. So that's the only thing I'll say. Otherwise, you're going to love it. And we worked hard all week long. I got to tell you, I'm excited. It's been countless of hours at the Artsville. I want to thank Miss Kathy out there for allowing us the time, the space, willing to work with us through the ups and downs as well. So a big shout out to her. But Grassroots going on tonight, Artsville Theater, 5021 Wessel Avenue. Get your tickets and be there. Say hi to me. Let's talk it up. Share the experience, what you think of the production, and let's have ourselves a good time. So, all right, on today's agenda, we got a lot to get to. I'm going to get you guys ready for the weekend in Cincinnati sports. The Reds are continue spring training. They don't have any split games this weekend, but I'm going to kind of get you into Saturday and Sunday. I also want to talk about and tell you about what the Bearcats baseball team's going to go up. They just had an impressive win against Bowling Green, 11-1 back on Wednesday. They begin a 3-game series tonight. We'll tell you about that. Then I also want to get you guys ready for the Bearcats men's basketball team taking on Oklahoma. Is it Oklahoma State? I'll check that out here in a second. But they will be taking on Oklahoma coming up here a little bit on tomorrow afternoon. And so, like I said, I will get you guys ready for that. We got Elimination Chamber coming up, and I will get you guys set up for that, as well as SmackDown's preview. And but before I get started, look, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Want to thank you for tuning in. A like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel is much appreciated. Hi, how are you? What are your plans for the weekend? I was supposed to go to my daughter's basketball game tomorrow morning, but she is under the weather, can't break a fever. So she will be out of commission today. And it's one of those school programs where if you don't attend school on Friday, you can't attend the game on Saturday. So she will be unfortunately missing 2 days, tomorrow's game. So it'll allow me, it's going to be a late night. So it allows me to kind of get up in the morning and before I have to get back out to Artsville and, for our second day. Tomorrow at the Artsville, we'll have two performances, one at 2, one at 7. And then we'll have a performance on Sunday at 2. Now, I'm going to make it a point. If I could get to church on Sunday, I'm going to get to church. Where am I going to watch sports at this weekend? I don't know. And it sucks because we got Elimination Chamber. But thank you guys for watching us on our YouTube page. This is where it's all started from. Please like, share, and subscribe. Share it with a friend. Let people know, hey, this is where you could check us out on. If you guys are watching us on our Facebook page, just scrolling through, hi, how are you? This is something that we began earlier this week, and we want to continue live streaming for you guys early in the day so that we can cover our sports without things happening or breaking news happening. Otherwise, any help, please like, share, subscribe, follow. If you want to sign up to be a subscribing member, will be much appreciated. All donations are put back into this, streaming program to get us as much content as possible. So, like I said, more just helps out. Not recommended, but much appreciated if so. But yeah, let me just do those due diligence there. Give me 1 second. I'm got to get today's game up because I haven't gotten the game up yet. And going through CapCut, just kind of finishing the final touches. But hope everyone's having themselves a good weekend. Where is that coming from? Oh, no. Well, that's over there. Let's undo that. Alrighty, and then we come over here. There we go. Alrighty. So we'll also get you guys caught up on MLB The Show 25. Let's just... Alrighty. You know what I've noticed is that the... Here's what I noticed. I'm watching my screen myself on the screen, and the shirt. I love the shirt that I got. I actually just got it a couple weeks ago. It's a Ben Hogan shirt. It's a collar shirt. It fits nice. It's lightweight. It doesn't make me feel like I'm all tied up. I want to get a lot more of these, and I really like this style too. But it looks like it's bringing off a weird image on the screen, as if like one of those statics. So. Anyways, all right, let's get down into business. Let's start off with the WWE. Actually, let's start off with our MLB The Show 25 franchise mode. The reason I say that is because I want to keep it separate. So I'm going to begin this program off of that. And so let me just pull through it here. Today's the 27th. So I got to go back to the 26th. On the 26th, our Cincinnati Reds. This is our MLB The Show 25 spring training remote as we play as the Cincinnati Reds throughout the course of the 2026 season. Now we are taking the MLB The Show 25 video game and playing their spring training schedule. So this is not exactly coordinates to what the Cincinnati Reds have this spring training. There's no split squads. It's just one single game. So to yesterday, the Reds took on the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks entered in with a 3-2 record, and then the Reds entered in with a 3-1 record. Well, the Reds scored the only run in the fourth inning, ended up winning the game 1-0. You could check the game out on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe after watching it. Sharing it with a friend would do much help. They are back at it today on a Friday where they'll take on the Athletics. And at these stadiums, they are the AAA affiliates to the home team. And what their stadium, according to MLB The Show 25. Well, that game is scheduled to take off at 3:05 p.m. later this afternoon. The Reds enter in with a 4-1 record as the Athletics enter in with a 1-4 record. It will be Chase Burns on the mound getting his second start of spring training going up against Luis Severino for the Athletics. The lineup is as follows. Blake Dunn will lead things off playing center field. Matt McClain will be batting second at shortstop. Spencer Steer batting third at first base. Miguel Andujar will be playing left field, batting cleanup. Will Benson, the designated hitter, batting fifth. In right field, batting sixth, Noel Marte batting seventh. And at third base is Christian Encarnacion batting eighth. The catcher, Jose Trevino, and batting ninth, Santiago Espinal. I can tell you, according to the game, we will have pitchers like Graham Ashcraft available. We will have Brock Burke scheduled to pitch, Luis May, and Emilio Pagan. Coming off the bench, we do have scheduled Dane Myers at some point, and we still have Ben Rotvet on the roster at the moment. Sal Stewart's also expected to make an appearance in today's game as well. Well, looking ahead into the weekend, the double headers that we have on Saturday and Sundays. We have the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Detroit Tigers at Center City Field in the video game. That first pitch is scheduled for 1:05 as Aaron Nola will be on the mound for the Phillies as Framber Valdez on the mound for the Detroit Tigers. The Reds will take on and host the San Diego Padres later at 3:05 tomorrow afternoon. The Padres will have J.P. Spears on the mound as the Reds will send out Hunter Green to make a start here in spring training. Coming up on Sunday, we have another doubleheader for you as we will have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the Miami Marlins. First pitch at 11 o'clock, very early start time for those Cardinals and Marlins game. I believe that game, let me just double check here, is actually at the Blue River Stadium. Really like that stadium, to be honest. And also, you can, and then the afternoon game, the Reds will take on the Chicago Cubs. First pitch at 3:05. That is our MLB The Show Franchise Mode Series weekend schedule. So a lot coming up here on our TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Be sure to have those notifications on so you don't miss a single episode. Alrighty, Elimination Chamber is about a little over 24 hours away. The final stop to the road to WrestleMania will be taking place tomorrow at the United Center in Chicago, Illinois, the hometown of CM Punk and to his wife, AJ Lee. Both of them will be in single competitions as the World Heavyweight Championship will be defended. CM Punk will be taking on Finn Balor. And then the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship as Becky Lynch will take on AJ Lee. Then we have two Elimination Chambers matches, one with the women's and one with the men. Excuse me. We will see. Let me just get the match card here. We will see here today. Where are we at? Where are we? There we go. We will see the men's Elimination Chamber match as Cody Rhodes will take on Randy Orton, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. And then the females Elimination Chamber match. Tiffany Stratton will take on Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. And I say her and Bliss's name faintly because I got an Alexa back there, and I don't need her to go off at the moment. So, good. Didn't go off at all. I remember earlier in the week it went off. So, let's get down into details. The main card starts at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on ESPN via the ESPN app or ESPN Unlimited. International streaming is going to be available on Netflix. This is the road to WrestleMania for WrestleMania 42, set for April 18th through April 19th at Allegiant Stadium in Los Vegas, Nevada. Chicago's own CM Punk and AJ Lee are both to compete in the front of this crowd, and we are here to give you our perspective and opinion. So let's talk about the first match on the agenda. That is going to be the World Heavyweight Championship, CM Punk versus Finn Balor. Now, we went into length yesterday about this conversation and this feud, which I really think that it is set up to be a really good match. I mean, these are really two top-tier players on the roster today. CM Punk at the top of his game. He is, he was given the World Heavyweight Championship after returning to the WWE and had to claw his way through it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not necessarily a fan of people coming back from being away for such a long time. Through everything that CM Punk has done in the past, from the mic bomb to being gone nearly a decade, and then saying certain things over in AEW, but business is business, okay? And, he didn't come back to WWE and just said, look, I need a title shot. That's not what happened. He earned his way, and I felt like, he has paid his dues, and he's been a big part of the WWE. He's at the top of the game, right? Well, it's kind of, I don't want to say that this match is a spoiler, but earlier this month, we've learned that Roman Reigns will be challenging CM Punk in that World Heavyweight Championship. Roman Reigns is not challenging the World Heavyweight Championship. He's challenging CM Punk because they got unfinished business to settle at WrestleMania. So I feel, unless something catastrophically happens to Punk, let's say he gets injured to where he breaks something, then Finn Balor is not winning. And I feel like it does a little bit of injustice to the WWE for Finn Balor not to win. He's a good talent. And I feel like he's been held back. And I want to show that. I wanted to edit and give you. There we go. Let's do that. All right, got the right one out there. I apologize. But I feel like it does take away from Finn Balor. I feel like it takes away from what he's capable of doing in the ring. And he's been lingered with the Judgment Day for quite some time. I feel like this is that moment where I feel like we're at a peace of mind where things are splitting off. And so if the prediction is a spoiler and we know CM Punk's going to win, and I'm just going with CM Punk, so that's my selection for this match. I feel like, where does Finn Balor place at WrestleMania? I feel like it's important that although Punk is going to win, we have to see something come from Finn Balor, not just a good match, because one-on-one with them alone is a good match, but we have to see something that pushes Finn Balor into a feud heading into WrestleMania. So one of the things that I've heard briefly around social media that I am in favor for is to see Finn Balor taking on Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I would be content to see in that. I don't know about you, but I feel like that feud has to start now, this weekend. And it could be as simple as somebody getting involved. Maybe Dominic, I don't think Liv, maybe Roxanne. Raquel's in a match already, so I don't see that. So I feel either Roxanne, I don't know where her whereabouts is. That's just me not being up to date. And Dominic Mysterio. I feel like one of these two athletes will head into the match, try to help Finn Balor win the match, and it ultimately costs Finn Balor the match. This ends up leading towards a Intercontinental Championship match. Because right now, Dominic is out there at AAA. He's doing his thing. I think he's ready to face up the Vikingo. I saw just a brief clip of it the other day. And but he has nothing in line for WrestleMania. And it's going to be important that he's at WrestleMania this year. So I feel like that would be a perfect story mode heading into WrestleMania to see Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio. Let me know down in the comments. But I feel like the most important thing out of this match is that something that leads towards it, leads to the next feud for Finn Balor, is going to take place. Because unless Punk gets injured, and it's a clear injury where you know it's going to keep him out of WrestleMania, then he's not going to win. So CM Punk ends up winning this match. Next up, I have the Women's Intercontinental Championship between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. Now, it's going to be a fan favorite. AJ Lee is the wife of CM Punk, and people are siding by her. You know, this is her first title run or title opportunity over a decade, and it's the first time a Latino woman ever hold the Women's Intercontinental Championship if she could go on and beat and rip that title from Becky Lynch. Now, the picture's clear. Becky Lynch is claiming her territory. This is her women's division. She is the best of the best. She is on top of the totem pole here, and she's not going to let somebody that has not been in ring action for over 10 years, despite the matches she's had last year. And she's not going to let her walk in, and she's not going to let her just do whatever she wants. Well, AJ Lee does not want that. She wants to beat the best of the best, and she knows she's been out of action for quite some time. I think these are two peas in the pod. And I'm going to honestly say, as we're in Chicago, I think a perfect storyline for this is to see AJ Lee walk away with the Intercontinental Championship. Now, it's just my opinion, but I like the notion that AJ Lee would walk away with the Intercontinental Championship. I don't think it needs to be a long run. I don't think it needs to be and this is where I tie it up, because I think it could be a win-win. So here's where the win-win. AJ Lee, here's my vision to it. Just hear me out. AJ Lee wins tonight. She's in Chicago. She gets the home crowd celebration towards it. She gets to go on to Raw for the next, 6-8 weeks and not brag, but really just be that champion she wants. It's not going to be anything significant. I don't think she's, defending that title. As a matter of fact, I feel like it becomes a Becky Lynch rematch, and we get this WrestleMania match between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. Something that we were thinking about a couple weeks ago. Well, and tied along all of this, okay, I think when we look at that, I say the complete turnaround for Becky Lynch is, now she lost the title. She had something to gripe for, something to fight for to get back the title, saying, "How dare you? You don't deserve to have it. It should belong to me." And it gives her the WrestleMania match, and then Becky goes on to win at WrestleMania. So you give AJ Lee this title run. It's a short run. It doesn't really see after WrestleMania. It keeps this feud floating for a few more weeks and interesting. Becky Lynch wins it back at WrestleMania. She's the heel of this all. And what's great about it is that now Becky Lynch is still going to remain on top. And AJ Lee, it has no harm, no foul. She doesn't win. There's no expectations for AJ Lee. There's no expectations for her to win the title. People are just happy to see her here. She's not going to lose anything for losing it to Becky Lynch. She'll gain the IC title on her resume, and I think that would be another valid exclaim for a Hall of Fame career, sure. But she doesn't really lose any realistic material to her reputation. If not, she'll still get a standing ovation if she loses on Saturday. So I predict that AJ Lee does win. You give her that title. You keep the feud going into WrestleMania, and then you put it back on Becky Lynch, and Becky Lynch can take it wherever she wants to. AJ Lee, if she decides to, hey, I'm not going to compete for a while, then that's fine. No harm, no foul. So I got AJ Lee winning. Then we have the women's Elimination Chamber match. Tiffany Stratton taking on Rhea Ripley, taking on Alexa Bliss, and taking on Asuka, Kiana James, and Raquel Rodriguez. Now I'm going down this list. Here's what we know. We know that the winner will go on to face Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Tiffany Stratton had a feud with Jade Cargill and lost the title to her months ago. Rhea Ripley's I believe she's in the tag team conversation. Asuka's also in the same way. Kiana James, I feel like, is one of those, just placement opportunity, to take a look at. Could it be Raquel Rodriguez? I think maybe a misdirection that the feud's been facing. But Tiffany Stratton is, for me, a lead candidate. Then I have Raquel Rodriguez right behind, or either Rhea Ripley or Asuka. What I like most about it, we've already seen Tiffany face Jade Cargill. I think that would be my strong suit. But just imagine the WrestleMania match card if it was Rhea Ripley, who's been at the forefront of this women's division for the last couple years, going up against Jade Cargill. Gosh, that would be a battle to see. I think it would be a really big push to see Raquel Rodriguez, and I don't know how the WWE feels about putting her in there. But Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill will be a marquee collision. And I think that would definitely sell more tickets than Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. So if we're going for marquee and knowing that the WWE is not selling a lot of tickets, a match like a Rhea Ripley for Jade Cargill will sell more tickets over a Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill, because we already seen that match before. And in popularity, I think Rhea Ripley's always been up there. Tiffany's kind of taken a step back in my observation. So I'm going to have to sit here and say Rhea Ripley. And I like that decision because, we've been talking about it. If you say Rhea and Jade, WrestleMania title match, would you buy tickets to go see? That's a marquee. I think you would. I think it would help sell tickets. So that's what I got to go with. If not, I was going to choose Tiffany Stratton as a runner-up, and then Raquel Rodriguez. Then we got the men's Elimination Chamber match. Cody Rhodes taking on Randy Orton, LA Knight, Jey Uso, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. Now, I feel like this almost I feel like the picture is painted for Cody Rhodes to win. Drew McIntyre has been sabotaging him week in and week out, costing him opportunities, and his previous cost ended up actually helping him to win the triple threat match he had with Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu. But here is where the reason why I don't want to see Cody win. It's not like he doesn't deserve to be up there at the main attraction, main WrestleMania 42. But who else could you possibly give that moment? You're looking at filling in matches, and to me, I still think that Cody Rhodes has a great outline, great story with a lot of these wrestlers that can fit at WrestleMania, but not with the title. He doesn't need a title around him. I'd say give the opportunity to somebody else. We talk about LA Knight, for example. We talk about maybe Randy Orton, for example. But it's kind of hard because everything's been circled back around between Drew, Cody, and Jacob. And I think a few weeks ago, I predicted that Drew, Cody, and Jacob would face each other in a triple threat match at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. So let me run down that list of who I think is not going to win. First of all, Trick Williams is a growing talent. I think this is a spotlight for him, just like Kiana James in the women's Elimination Chamber match. But when it comes to facing single opponents in one-on-one competition, when you get better opponents, Trick is still a long ways to learn. So I don't feel like Trick, I feel like he's used in the same sorts of Javon Evans, where they're young, they want to be noticed. This is how you notice them. Have them do some high-flying acrobatic flips and dives and get the fans riled up, and you progress from there. This is kind of paying your dues, right? Jey Uso. I think a lot of people are pushing Jey Uso to face his brother Jimmy this year. I don't know if that's the direction, but could that be an option? Which then I don't see him winning. LA Knight. I don't know what his plans are for WrestleMania. I don't know. Is this match suitable enough for him to pull off a victory? Remember, we're facing Drew McIntyre. Could that be something that we'd see? It would probably be on night one. It would be earlier on in the show, to be honest. Probably one of my least favorite intriguing title matches at WrestleMania. But, we've always kept an optimistic mind with Javon Evans, right? He is not Javon Evans, with LA Knight. He is a guy who, has won the crowd several times. He has built himself. He's gotten in a feud with, the Usos before. I mean, he sticks himself in these positions looking for these opportunities. Well, let's guess what? This opportunity is right in front of him. He could be punching his ticket in to a WrestleMania match. Let Cody Rhodes go figure out what's next for him. Randy Orton is another alternative to have winning this Elimination Chamber match. The Viper winning would probably have to come. Excuse me. The Viper winning would have to come in some sort of fashion of Cody Rhodes getting screwed out of a way of winning. So, as somebody gets eliminated tomorrow night, and they get exit out of the cage, I can only assume that either Jacob Fatu or Drew McIntyre will at some point make their way in and cost Cody Rhodes this match. And I want to say it would be Jacob Fatu, but honestly, who could really tell? I would like to see a Jacob Fatu. So, I mean, that's where it gets a little sticky, right? Could Evans or Williams be this one or the last opponent that gets eliminated and gets a nice little run? I can see that happening. But if my tank is on this, I'm going to probably have to make a bold prediction and say LA Knight in this one. I feel like this push for LA Knight is long overdue. I feel like, he needs to have his WrestleMania moment. It'll be against Drew McIntyre. It'll come off guard, but it's something that it's going to have to be done. I can't see otherwise. So, Elimination Chamber predictions. I have LA Knight. I have Rhea Ripley. I have AJ Lee winning the IC title, and I have CM Punk retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. What do you guys have? Let me know down in the comments below. There we go. Let's get into this. But tonight, we have to get through tonight first, as SmackDown is live back on USA Network at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't miss the go-home show to before Elimination Chamber. We have a few things on the agenda. SmackDown, right? Tonight, we will have all 6 men who is competing in the men's Elimination Chamber match tomorrow night come face to face together in the ring. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky will take on Lash Legend and Nia Jax in a tag team titles. We will also see Uncle Howdy go up against Solo Sikoa as they are set to collide tonight. Oba Femi battles The Miz in single competition. Jordan Grace takes on Candice LeRae in single competition. You can check all this out by visiting WWE.com. But you can check out tonight's SmackDown before they hit the final stop before WrestleMania tonight on USA Network at 8 p.m. Alrighty. Before we get into our last segment and get you guys ready for weekend action in Cincinnati sports, I'd like to give a quick shout out to Riverside FM. Riverside FM is the streaming service platform that we use to broadcast live our shows Monday through Friday, typically at noon. We had a special start time today because of the premiere of Grassroots. So from final touches, we're headed out there as soon as this episode ends to get to finish and complete. But Riverside is a streaming platform, allows you to live stream across multiple platforms, YouTube, X, Facebook, and even on a Riverside platform. Allows you to create an easy studio concept where you can upload brands, photos, and everything else in between. Clean up your style and have a great experience. And by doing so, this is what we're streaming here, and also provides a editing point of all your videos after production. So you can clean up, fine tune, and with Magic Clips allows you. They create shorts, pull interesting content for you, so you could go back and post on your social media, because shorts is probably the number one trending thing that gets people populated to visit your channel, short videos and whatnot. So check out Riverside if you're looking for your own podcast, if you're looking for your own, if you're looking to start your own podcast, whether it's on video, you can do it for audio as well. I know I stream up multiple things. Also, I'd like to invite you to check out Enlighten Studios' Lighten the City podcast channel, available on our audio platforms, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, so much more. And because tomorrow night at 5, I will host, or not tomorrow night, Monday at 5, I will host another episode of the Enlighten Express, where we provide news, events, stories, highlights, and updates around Enlighten Studios and the performing arts world in Cincinnati. We cover library news and anything else that just comes along in the conversation. You could check out our episode at 5 p.m. Be sure to follow and like and share. And we will share our initial experience of Grassroots premiering this weekend. Alrighty, we'll start things off with UC Baseball. Cincinnati Bearcats will have a 3-game series in about a couple hours from now at home at the UC Baseball Stadium in Cincinnati, Ohio. First pitch is at 3 p.m. It's against Austin, PA. It's the game 1 of a 3-game series. They will be back again tomorrow, also at 3 p.m., and then on Sunday at 1 p.m. on a 3-game series on this homestand that stretches out until next week. You can check all 3 of those games coming your way on ESPN+. Also, Cincinnati Bearcats, after a loss earlier this week, they're back at home at the Fifth Third Arena tomorrow at 2 p.m. It's actually interesting because the Bearcats baseball stadium, UC Baseball Stadium, is literally right next door to the Fifth Third Arena, I think, right? Is that accurate? But you can check them out, Fifth Third Arena at Cincinnati, as they take on Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State coming into this play. Just 2 more games on the schedule. Tip-off is about, or 3 more games on the schedule, my bad. Tip-off is at 2 p.m., and you are celebrating the 125th year, as this is a Big 12 conference game. The rest of the schedule looks like they will have a game on Tuesday, March 3rd against BYU. And then we'll finish the season off, and that's senior night. And then they'll finish the season off on the road at TCU on March 7th. Get your tickets for tomorrow night game still available. I don't think it's sold out yet. Not quite yet. But for more information, you can check out gobearcats.com. Alrighty. Well, the Cincinnati Reds had themselves a matchup yesterday taking on the San Diego Padres. It was a high-scoring game as the Reds went on to win 11-10. They have bounced back and began their above 500 record in spring training action as they moved to 3-2. They pushed the Padres back to 3-4. Zach Maxwell gets the victory in this game. As he pitched at the back end, he pitched 1 inning, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, and struck out 2 batters. Chase Burns started the game, pitched 2 1/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, walked 2 batters, struck out 5, allowed a home run in his outing. We saw Chase Petty, Graham Ashcraft, who gave up 4 hits and 6 runs, kind of did the big deal for the Reds defensively. Saw Phillips, Maxwell, and Canyon came in to save as he shut the Padres out for a victory. Offensively, here's how the scoring drive went. In the second inning, Will Benfield hit a double to left field. Spencer Steer scored. Will Benson scored. Dane Miles scored. Benfield was thrown out at third on a throw from left field to the shortstop, Clay Dungan, and the Reds put up 3 runs in the second. They came back in the bottom of the 5th inning after the Padres tied things up. Ellie De La Cruz doubled to a line drive in center field. TJ Friedel scored. Matt McLean also scored, and Ellie De La Cruz was thrown out at third trying to reach third. Noelvi Marte then doubles to a sharp drive out to left field. Eugenio Suarez scored. Spencer Steer also scored, extending their lead to 8-3. Dane Miles then doubled off to right field, scoring in Noelvi Marte to make it 9-3. In the bottom of the 6th inning, Tyler Callahan hit a solo home run out to right field, giving the Reds a 10-9 lead. And in the bottom of the 8th inning, it was all tied up at 10. Cam Collier singles on a line drive to left field. Nick Solak. Tyler Callahan scores in, and Michael Chavez sprinted over to 7 and to second base, and the Reds picked up a 11-10 victory. ABS challenges Tatis Jr. called a strike. It was confirmed. Benfield was also challenged a strike call. Was also confirmed. Noelvi Marte also had a strike call that was confirmed, and Benson had a strike call confirmed to overturn to a ball. Ty France for the Padres had a strike call confirmed. It's going to be interesting to see how the ABS is going to configure into the regular week or season. But interesting offensive notes. TJ Friedel went 1 for 3. Matt McLean also went 1 for 3. Ellie De La Cruz went 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Suarez went 0 for 2 but scored in a run. He also walked. Spencer Steer went 1 for 2, scored in 2 runs, and had 2 walks to his outing. This is also the type of Noelvi Marte went 1 for 3, where players, our starters, are going to go longer in the games. 6, 7, 8th innings are going to have 3, 4, 5 at-bats before being replaced. But that was yesterday's game. You guys could check out MLB.com for more information and highlights. Today, the Reds will take on the Los Angeles Angels at Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona. The Reds enter in with a 3-2 record, while the Angels enter in with a 2-5 record. Right-handed pitcher Rhett Lauder will be on the mound for the Redlegs. He comes in with a 4.50 ERA this spring, striking out 4 batters. He will go up against the former Reds left-handed pitcher Brent Suter, who's only recorded a strikeout so far in this game. No lineups has been announced yet. It's pretty early in the morning, so I don't expect that to happen. But J.J. Bleday has played against him. That's kind of really the only matchup. He's only had 1 at-bat as well. So batting 1,000. So that game it will be set for 3:05 this afternoon. The Reds will head over to American Family Fields in Phoenix, Arizona, to take on the Milwaukee Brewers tomorrow at 3:10 p.m. Hunter Green will be scheduled for the Reds on the mound as he will be taking on left-handed pitcher Rob Zatzrinski. Probably butchered that name. Hunter Green, Rob is 1-0, only had one strikeout in his last outing. And then on Sunday, March 1st, you can check out the Reds at Hohokam Stadium in Mesa, Arizona, as they take on the Athletics at 3:05. Andrew Abbott will be on the mound for the Redlegs. He has a 9 ERA with 2 strikeouts under his radar going up against right-handed pitcher J.T. Ginn. Ginn has only recorded 3 strikeouts in his last outing, and that is what the weekend looks like for spring training action. Man, surprised I got through all of that. I'm thrilled, shocked. Man, got to tell you. But, going to be a busy weekend. I tell you that. Going to have fun. Anyways, that is all the time I have. I know it kind of came pretty early. Got really nothing else to talk about. Got you guys ready for the weekend. Got Elimination Chamber predictions in there. I want to hear what you guys have to say. So please let me know. I'll try to see what I can do to post some questions and some polls later on today for those matches. We'll come back on Monday, back at noon on Monday, where we get to recap the Reds weekend, Cincinnati sports in Ohio. What happened over the weekend, talk about Elimination Chamber, get you guys ready for Monday Night Raw, and much more. I'd also come on here and share you my weekend experience with Enlightened Studios and their grassroots performance. As I've mentioned at the beginning of the program, we invite you guys out to the Artsville Theater, 5021 Wessel Avenue in Cincinnati, Ohio. 45227 is the address. First production is tonight. Got nothing going on at 7 p.m. Doors open up, I believe, at 6:30 or 6 o'clock. There'll be a blue carpet. You can check out the vendors, check out the concessions, stop by, enter yourself into a raffle basket valued anywhere between $100 to $600. Come dressed out in the 1950s themes. Be a part of the production. There is a moment of the play where you get to be a part of the production and be involved into the play. You don't really have to do much, but everything will be instructed. If you dress out, there will be a winner to the best dressed contest of whoever dressed out in the 1950s themes. Come get your photos, give a quick interview by me, hosted by me. Excited for that. And much more. So we are excited to have this event going on. It's tonight at 7. Tomorrow we'll have one at 2, one at 7, and then on Sunday we'll have one on 2. We'll do all that again next weekend, and then we're off to our next big thing. But check out the cast. It's going to be a great time. Tickets are still available. You get them at tickettailor.com. You can either click the link here that's on the screen, or you could check out the description below. But get your tickets today. Don't want to miss it. You get them at the door. A little bit more expensive, I say. But yeah, it's going to be a busy weekend. I'm actually headed out there right after this so that I can help out, finish setting up the stage, and then we'll be back at 5, do a live stream. We'll be on their Facebook channel. So if you want to check us out during the live stream, we will be on the Enlightened Studios Facebook page where we will live stream the product for them. So that is all the time I have for you guys today. Apologize, I'm ending early, but we got a lot of stuff to do. It's going to be a busy week, and we'll be back again Monday for you, right? Recap and stuff. If you guys don't mind, please like, share, and subscribe on our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Please be sure to like, share, and follow. Have those notifications on our YouTube page so you don't miss a single content. Also, be sure to follow us on our audio platforms. But until Monday, you guys have a wonderful rest of your week.